How's it going? Welcome back. So this is part 2 of the, don't really know what to call it, the Triumph Bonneville project, side project, the America transplant into, I don't know, whatever it is. But this series where I'm going to try and take most of Bonneville America, and put it into a lightly customised Bonneville frame and have a little bit of fun with it along the way. So we finished last time. I think I'd cut the frame off, and I'm going to weld the hoop in now and see where we go from there. So let's get cracking. Right then, so I've taken the hoop back off, got the frame there ready to go. I'm going to drill some holes so I can plug weld the slugs in before we weld all the way around. Now these were the slugs that came with it, quite thin walled tube. I dare say they would do the job, but I think I've decided to make up some slightly beefier slugs. So what I've done is taken an old set of steel handlebars that just so happen to be the same diameter, so the 7/8. Chopped the ends off, cleaned them up a bit, and these are going to be my new slugs, so much beefier than the other ones, a little bit longer as well. Yeah, I don't know if that's a massive thing or whether those would have been fine, but I just feel slightly better using these. So let's get everything lined up, get the holes drilled, and crack on. Okie dokie. So looking at this, that is about how far the slug's going to go in before we start curving here. So I've just lightly, probably can't see that on the camera, but lightly scored that. So that will go in there. I'm going to have to tap it in, it's a little bit tight. And that is 3.5 centimeters. So I've marked out a 0.2 centimeters in. That's where it'll be. So I'm going to drill, don't know what, 6, maybe 8 mil hole there. Probably a hole about that sort of size, possibly, maybe 6, don't know. About there, and then one on each side. Bash that in and plug weld it in. So sweet. Same on the other side, same on the other side, and I'll drill it and get rocking. Right, so just going to grind those down so they're nice and flush, drill some holes in the frame, and then tap this bad boy in. Right, so I'm just in the process of whacking this in. It's taken a little bit of persuading with the rubber mallet. It's quite a nice tight fit, which I guess is good. I'd rather it was like that than any slop. So I've got my holes that I drilled there, so I've just quickly gone over with a flap disc on there, but obviously they'll get properly cleaned up. Drilled the holes there. I was going to just do top and bottom, and I kind of went straight in at the top, and then I thought there's going to be a bit of gap filling in here if I was to drill up through there, so I figured where this gusset is around, I'll just go in at the side and do them there. So that's something I've just kind of should have maybe thought about a bit more, but I think that'll be alright. Just two 8mm holes there and there, a bit close. I'd rather they're opposite each other. I was thinking I could go on the other side, but they're in there now. But there we go. So I'm just going to just smack this in a bit more with the hammer. I don't think you really need to watch me do that, do you? I might put it in. Okay, so you might have just heard a little metallic tang as I was trying to hammer the hoop in all the way home, and it wouldn't quite go in all the way. And I think, well, sticking my finger in it, I've discovered that where this bracing part here is welded in, there's a little bit of weld penetration on the inside of the tube, so I can just feel it there. Obviously with the thinner walled slugs, they were forgiving enough to kind of get round it and it would go all the way in. With the beefed up slugs, that's not happening. They're just jamming up against it. So I've had the old Dremel in there with a sanding drum on it, but my sanding drum is pretty much worn out, and this was quite a fine one, so it's taking ages and not really working. So I've resorted to one of these little cheap, well, they like grinding, sharpening blocks things. Something mildly abrasive to try and just wear it down enough on the inside that will fit in this tube. So that's what I'm doing now. So hopefully I'll get this ground down enough that I can get the slug all the way in, and we're back to where we were. Right, there we go, back to our usual program. We're back on now. So we need to plug weld these in, and oh man, and go round, and I'm not a welder, so it's gonna be ugly.
So yeah, not very pretty. Long way to go before I can do just good welds, but they should hopefully be strong enough. So I'm just going to clean them up, grind them down. Hopefully it'll all look a little bit neater. It's a little bit more blobby, but yeah, it's on and it's straight.
So I'm pretty cleaned up on the old welds. I'll bring you in closer and show you a few of the bits that I've got to just finesse a little bit. But I mean, yeah, I've really just been using a flap disc to get the bulk of the weld off. Just ran up to the shops and got some more Dremel sanding discs just to get in the more slightly intricate areas, and then finishing it all with one of these like paint removal kind of discs. Yeah, kind of a rust paint removal one, but it just seems to get rid of all the nasty scratches and stuff, and just, I don't know, smooths everything out. I can kind of see a little bit better. Works for me anyway. So yeah, I'll bring you in close, we'll have a little look, and yeah, there's still a few bits I'm not happy with that I've got to sort out, but we're almost there.
So there we go. If we, it's all kind of pretty nice. I'm going to try and see if this is going to zoom in close enough, but can you just see, because my welding's pretty rubbish in terms of consistency, so getting a nice bead along can be a bit spotty. So this is where I've just ground them down, and you've got these tiny little, they're not like porous bits in the weld, it's just like the edge of the weld, and then I would have started again on this side, and it's, I mean, they're minuscule. Is it going to come up like that? So you can see they're shallow, they don't go all the way down, but I don't want to keep grinding that down much lower. So what I might do is try and just quickly pop a bit of weld on there, and then almost use it as a filler, if you like, just to do it. That's the worst bit. There's two little dots. Oh, it's not going to focus, but one little dot there. There's one on the side. That's tiny little mark there. Again, just real shallow to almost indentations, but other than that, it's all pretty. Oh, there's another one. You can see that one a bit better. Just there. Oh, sorry. Go on, focus. I can see my bad bits. Just there. So I'm not happy with that. So a tiny bit more, not much, just a little bit of dressing. Let me flip it over so you can see the top as well. The top side. So again, I mean, it's quite nice. It's all like, it's even on both sides. It's all fairly seamless, which I'm quite happy with. But again, can you see there, there, and there? There's three on there. Even though that's going to be covered over by a seat, that's going to annoy me. So I might. Maybe I'm being a little bit, maybe I've been staring at it too long, but, and don't think it's a very, very shallow one there, but you can't really know. That one I would probably leave. So that side's okay. So yeah, so I just want to get it spot on, but other than that, I'm really happy with the way that's turned out. I think that looks sort of halfway neat anyway. For not being a welder, I think I've managed to blag my way through that, hopefully, and it feels beefy. I've been lifting it up and moving it around by the hoop, so yeah, happy days. And yeah, so those slugs are going to be like there, so that should hopefully be adding a nice bit of strength. Yay.
So I'll call it the end for that video. So the hoop's welded on. Not entirely sure what my next part of this project will be. Possibly look at making the seat. There's a couple of little, like the speedo bracket that I want to make, but that depends if I'm going to use the T100 yokes or the America yokes. Probably, I mean, I've got behind me here now, so you've got the mag wheel. I'll just spin this round so we can have a look.
The old mag wheel there, so I'm probably going to do all of that black. Sprocket carrier, cleaned up the swing arm pivot, although I'm not entirely sure that this is the original swing arm bolt. It looks almost a little bit homemade, and I'm pretty sure they're usually stainless, and this was mild. But I have it's the same swing arm on the Bonnevilles, I think the Thruxton, the Scrambler, Speed 4 and Sprint RS, I think. So I found one for £8 on with a nut as well on eBay, so I've ordered that, so I think I'll have a look at that when that comes. But when that arrives, I think it'd be quite good to get the swing arm on, mount the shocks on it, get the wheel slung in there as well, and maybe have a little look at the stance of it all. Obviously it's going to be hard to visualise because I haven't got a tyre on there yet. Maybe that might be the thing to do next, is spray that up and get a tyre for it. We shall see, because on the spraying front, these are the dog bone risers have come, and I think I'm gonna probably fill the Triumph writing, which is engraved in there, with some like plasticine or something like that, spray the rest of it black, and then pick that out, so it's going to be a black dog bone with the silver writing. I think that might be nice, something a bit different. I might measure up the distance actually and see if these will fit on the America yoke, because again, that's a couple of things that are going to be dependent on what front end works, whether or not I'm going to use those dog bones, or I'm going to make this speedo bracket, which I'm on about. Don't know yet, so that's all dependent on what does fit. But yeah, I think probably when I'll have a think over this week. Hopefully I should get the swing arm spindle in and can have a rough assemble of everything and have a little look at it. Probably should really work out how I'm going to mount the tank as well. So, but plenty to get on with. I'll have a think this week about what the next thing's going to be. But until then, wicked. Thanks for watching.